closer and closer. That's the beauty of the Swiss stage.
It's holiday season. I have a gift for you. We got game
Yeah.
one. We're finally into the series. Ground Zero Renegades. Let's get it going, folks. Both these teams currently 1-1, and it says a lot about their resolve here on land for both of these squads to be able to take opening wins, and now they have to fight each other for a potential 2-1 lead in Swiss. But already getting a little bit cheeky, it's Express who puts one towards the net. But if you're Ground Zero, you have a lot of energy going into this after your win against Tokyo, but Renegades are not the same squad. They will not just kind of fall over on the goal line. You're going to have to put up a fight the same way you did early on.
That they will. And start of this one here, really nothing to come of it so far. We haven't seen either team really get into it. I don't know if it's we didn't give them enough warm-up time to see a goal here in the opening 45. Good pass in field, though, looking for CJ. And Ampus will be there to make the save on the post.
Ampus has been a standout for Ground Zero, and on the other side, I mean, Fever's been playing lights out. CJ has been undeniable so far. Renegades have the full package, but for Ground Zero, it's going to come through, again, a lot of their transition game. Their counterattacks have been pretty much effective 99% of the time. You're looking at Ampus to set up and Express to play towards the backboard, who can secure a lot of those really quick goals. As Ampus carries that one towards the front of the box, Fever will deny it, and Kami gets it away.
A little 50, gets his nose on it, able to force it through, but the shot from the follow-up is not going to be on target. Won't be able to secure that one. Had a moment there to try and make something happen, just couldn't get the shot down. And again, that was one of my things that is my worry, is that the shot accuracy needs to come up on the side of Renegades. Here comes one. Express almost gets bumped by CJ, but he cannot lock that in, so back the other way we go. That one just high, but Ampus is there to finish it off from the underneath side there. Ground Zero go up 1-0.
Well, this is Express just carrying it down and puts it right where Ampus can get it. The follow-up from Ground Zero is what helped them in their series against Tokyo. They get it yet again. A 1-0 lead so far in game one. And Renegades and Ground Zero have had to wait some time to get into this one. I don't think it's going to affect them too much, but that's a hot start early for Ground Zero. For Renegades now, they are looking to tie this one up.
Have possession for the moment, and CJ should try and make a back pass there, keep possession, and that's going to be a big thing. Maintaining possession, really, with these two teams, knowing each other so well. If everyone can manage that, most likely manage the control time, that possession time, will find success and find their way through this matchup. Into the corner, though, a little bit of a battle, and Torsas will bring that one out for the side of Ground Zero.
North America might be in shambles right now, but Express almost gets the double tap. Torsas still going to keep it alive. Ground Zero threatening a second goal. But the OCE region is thriving. Both of these teams having a very hot start in this fall major.
Loose ball. Eventually he'll get challenged by both. Has somebody in the midfield for the pass, but can't get enough of the ball from Kami, and that one's going to be high. Crossbar down and out. Renegades get away with one. That should have been a goal.
Under 2 minutes to play. It's CJ who goes up for the contest, and Torsas who tries to find one on the pass, but it will not connect. Fever escaping downfield. Will send her to himself. Gets one bump, almost own goals, which would have helped, but Renegades still looking for their first goal here in game one, let alone the start of this series. As Fever circles back and Express with that second touch right over the back defender. We'll keep Ground Zero in the offensive half for the moment. How long will it last? And can they find their second goal? You put away game one like this, it's probably looking good for the series, but Express once more throws it towards the back box, and luckily for Renegades, oh, wait a minute, almost a chance for an own goal, but CJ escapes, and now a counterattack opportunity for Renegades.
Almost the chance for the own goal. It's always there. You got to worry about those. They sneak up at the most inopportune times, and, the own goal almost happens anyways. We almost somehow cursed that one in. Just off the mark, comes off that side post and out. CJ now control the ball. He's going to work his way through midfield, opts for the corner to just get it out and around, keep that possession time up.
Ampus doing a very good job of just cutting up the play. Kami trying to restabilize. Will put it off the backboard. Express immediately meets the challenge, and here comes more follow-ups from Renegades. A quick dive and a save will block it away. 30-ish seconds to go. Some change on the clock, but another breakaway chance. Express getting very aggressive, very comfortable past that midfield line for Ground Zero. It's led way to Ampus with a couple of challenges, and Fever down towards the lower post. A long clear from ground zero. Renegades need to hold on to possession. They've been very quick to give it away. There hasn't been a lot of, passes to each other. Can they turn things around in the last 15?
We get more of the same. I'm not thinking that that's going to come true. 10 seconds left here. They have to make it happen. They have to make it happen now. CJ from the back wall, going to send one forward. Kami on the follow-up, bringing it down through the corner. Has a chance in front of the net, but Express, great backboard defense. Back across again, and that one will fall short. Ground zero goes up early in game one.
And they handled the pressure well, but they were just so quick to take the ball away, and Renegades were trying to play isolated ball. They were not able to find one another. A couple of chances for CJ moving upfield, but other than that, it was pretty much locked down for the majority of the game. Game one, very quickly, I guess, to FaZe Clan. Okay, that's cool. Game one, going to ground zero. Just simple. They execute their style, and they get it through. Ground zero take the first one.
Yeah, back and forth. Clean play from them. They ended up having less mistakes on the field. They were better at getting to the ball, forcing some touches out of the Renegades where they were just ending up giving up possession. I was talking about where they kind of need that possession time, and they need that shot accuracy. And again, it just wasn't there, which worries me quite a bit. It gives me a little bit of worry, That's something that you're going to have. If you don't have the shooting accuracy, if every shot's coming off the post or off the crossbar and out, there's an issue there. Something's got to get cleaned up, because they did have a few opportunities to go ahead and put one in. And on the other end, they were converting when they needed to.
Yeah, no, ground zero looked just very comfortable in game one. Now, moving into game two, this is where, again, the series gets a little bit interesting, because if you go up 2-0 your ground zero, you put Renegades on match point, they might start sweating a little bit. But for Renegades' perspective, Super, looking at how they approached game one, how they were unable to really secure much on the offensive end, what do you need to see them turn around here? Is it a play style of player? Is it a approach to the midfield? What do you need? As Fever could open it up for Renegades, but still won't find it.
I need to see them not throw the ball away. For one, that's a good start. The other side is they need to not send quite as much downfield. They were definitely looking for it there. Good save from Fever as he gets a piece of that one. But they had moments already here in the opening 45 seconds where they did push for a bump downfield while the other two players push all the way down, and it opens up opportunities for counterattack. It didn't turn into anything. Fever does make it back, makes the save on the back line, but it's a bit of an overcommit. I'd rather see them look for that possession time rather than just trying to force something through brute force. I'd like to see the control that we haven't gotten from them.
And while both these teams are only 1-1, the stakes might not be there in terms of the standings, but for this series alone, we've talked about the game differential before. That's where our attention should be drawn, because it is a lot for Ground Zero if they win this series, and for Renegades. But Express, who's been lights out so far today, again, will open things up for Ground Zero. It was Torsas who gets that second touch, and Anthus, with the slight bump, just clears the back of the net, and Express locks it down.
That double from CJ. CJ didn't have faith in the teammate being there on the near post. He jumps. He ends up leaving the ground. He would have been there had he not jumped. He would have been there to make the save on that follow-up shot. That is something that I've seen a tendency out of him, at least here on land thus far. Just about in, and then Kami able to meet him at the touch. Stops the second shot from coming through. But CJ's a bit jumpy defensively.
Could be nerves.
Could be
prep time. Torsas gets a demo. Power play now in favor of Ground Zero. As Fever will try to escape downfield and buy time for Renegades to get back to full strength. I think he did so just enough. Express circles back around. And Fever towards the backboard. A chance now for Renegades. That double tap almost connects. Would have been a beautiful way to get yourself on the board finally, but now you got to beat Express as he moves his way down the wing and leads way to a Torsas boost grab, which, again, resources now here for Ground Zero. And usually don't see toppers, but hey, the Fall Major leads way to interesting things.
Don't get them often, but every now and then it just calls for it. Save here from Kami as CJ there off the backboard. This one's going to fall towards net, but Express will be there to save it. Express has really been impressive today so far. In the start of this one, plus their match earlier, they've just been doing so well he's been doing so well on both ends of the pitch. He's been the guy shooting, passing, and making the saves, doing everything you could possibly want out of a player. And really making a huge impact for Ground Zero.
Well, after that opening goal, we've burned about 2 minutes, and it hasn't really led to much for Renegades. They've very much been struggling to maintain possession past midfield. Now they turtle up as Amphis will get his second possession on this rotation as Express bumps one out of net. A follow-up shot. That one's good, but a better save. I think Kami was there to save that one away from Renegades. They're doing a good job of clearing the ball out, but they need to hold it on the other side. There's a demo from Torsas yet again. Kami will have to come back off respawn, and he will just, in fact, get in front of the net. A pass to Fever and just whiffs on the connection. So a missed touch, a missed angle, whatever it might be, Renegades just can't find anything.
Yeah, they're trying to now work these passes. They're doing a lot of these touches where they get around one, put it up high, hope that a teammate's going to get there. But again, a lot of it's these high clears where they're having to expend a lot of boost as well. Yes, they're forcing the other team up to spend the boost, but they're not converting it into anything. They haven't been able to find that final connection into that pass shot on net. Fever should be able to turn around and get a piece of this one, but he, kind of does a zigzag pattern there. Couldn't decide which way he wanted to make the turn into the ball, and it ends up going the way of Ground Zero due to the indecisiveness.
49-ish seconds to play. Not a lot of time. Great hesitation from Torsas. Yep. Almost caught a defender lacking, but Express will try to get back as Amphis can't find the touch. No matter, though. We get back to midfield. We've killed another 10 seconds off the clock, and this pressure past the midfield line has been crucial for Ground Zero. They have starved out Renegades, who just can't escape, can't clear the ball. Finally, a boom to the other corner, but is anyone else there to follow up? It just seems like every time they're able to clear it away, that's where the offense dies. They do it as an escape route, but there's no follow-up from it. Just 10 seconds now in Game 2.
Looking like a 1-0 finish is going to be the storyline here of Game 2 and take us into that 2-0 lead. Never mind. Make it 2-0. 2-0 on the board and 2 seconds on the clock, and it's about to be 2 blue pips lit up to represent that 2-0 lead in the series for Ground Zero. Is this... I want to say, like, oh, Ground Zero just played. We just watched them. They're carrying over the, the energy from the previous match against Tokyo Verde, but it was also a bit of a long break there, so I don't know that really holds true.
Well, we could say the same thing about Renegades. I mean, for both these teams kind of having to wait a little bit. Ground Zero, there it is, win Game 2, and you were right. They're up 2-0, and there was the stat line for Game 2. It was pretty much Ground Zero yet again, controlling the pace all throughout, and that's the takeaway for me at this point, is that Ground Zero are just dictating the entire game, and it really hasn't been up to them to respond to anything. Renegades have just been struggling to show up.
So, stat line right now for this is just kind of interesting. Number of shots, 6 from Amphis. He's shooting 16.67%, which isn't, the number that we usually highlight. 16.67 isn't a high shooting percentage. It is when everybody else on the field is at 0%, though. He's the only one that's scored a goal thus far. So 16.67, Amphis, kind of the player getting it done. You were hyping him up, talking about him. Between him and Express, they're kind of getting everything they need done. Torsas is obviously out there. He's been a piece of the, the passing plays here and there, but Express, Amphis, both stepping up huge here on lane.
Well, this could be the final game of the series. If Ground Zero walk away with this one, it's going to be a 3-0 sweep, which would help them tremendously in their standings, right? They're 2-1 at that point. They have the game differential on their side. For Renegades, it's going to have to take a reverse sweep, and a pretty big one at that. They need a complete 360 in their style so far. They have been dominated on both sides of the field. We'll see what they can do here. As CJ gets the extra touch there, and Cammy puts one on target, but a great save from Ground Zero. They keep that one out and keep this 0-0.
High flyer. Express will be the one to grab that out of the corner and try and make this press. Torsas, big 50 there as he sends it back downfield, and that's the other side of this that just keeps going the way Ground Zero so far in this match, is that they win the majority of their 50s. including the ones right on the line. And, you know, Amphis is the only one that scored. You might as well keep that storyline going. Once again, Amphis the one to force it through, and Ground Zero leads again in Game 3.
It's these early starts, these quick starts for Ground Zero. How do you respond if you're Renegades? Well, Kami can't get possession. CJ will try to get it back to midfield, but immediately taken away. And here comes Ground Zero yet again. Even when they get up in time, ball's always taken back. And Ground Zero are very quick to get on their transitions and immediately challenge. CJ looking for Fever, and Fever gets bumped off the play. CJ flips it towards the net, but easily saved. And Ground Zero deny the shot once more. So a couple of opening chances for Renegades, but they still have not been able to find like that opening goal, right? To tie up the game, Supersonic, they have been struggling when it comes to responding.
So, interesting thing here is Express scores another goal and continues to set up this storyline. But Ground Zero currently has a perfect sweep set up against Renegades. If they end this and Renegades does not score a goal, this will be the first time that this ever happens at an RLCS LAN.
Well,
is it better or worse that you're doing it to a fellow countryman or region?
Hey, all we know is that at the end of this, at least OCE wins, right? Like, no matter what happens. Can't say the same about North America. Get smoked.
Poor North America. Not poor Ground Zero, though, as they continue to bring it to the Renegades. Express going to win one here into the corner. And again, midfield presence. They're just there over and over again. There's enough pressure up front that they're forcing Renegades to make these touches, kind of throw away possession. Follow-up shot there. Cute little drop-off pass. Doesn't convert to anything, but I like the look.
Another great challenge there, but what we talked about earlier in this series where Renegades needed to sustain drives down the field. They needed to find one another. Those interconnected passes in the offensive third, something like what SSG does really well. That's what you need if you're going to beat Ground Zero at this point. They just haven't been able to find one another. It's been these isolated shots one after another. The stagnated offense has not worked. Amphis from the ceiling will extend downfield. Kami underneath, follow the ball around through the corner, but whiffs on the touch, and at that point, the play basically dies unless Fever has enough boost to keep it up.
Does not. He's going to have to back out. Finds himself some boost, though, on the retreat, and he'll be able to get up and do a powerful boom back down the field. Unfortunately, midfield presence is there from Ground Zero once again to cut that off. Fever, only one back, looks to take this shot down and low against Fever. That was, I believe that was Amphis that was looking for that shot once again. Can't get it through in the 1v1.
Around 90 seconds in this series for Renegades. If they lose this, they drop down to 1 and 2, so they're not out of the tournament, but you talk about the differentials between the games, you talk about being on series point, being on elimination point. It's going to be tough. They desperately need a goal. They need something. They need some kind of injection of confidence. They just have not been able to find anything. The offense has been quiet. A literal perfect sweep is about to unfold for the first time as they clear this one away. The pressure that's been building in the orange side of the field, Ground Zero forcing Renegades to have to make these saves. Back to the midfield we go.
Not a record that you want to be a part of if you're going to be on the receiving end of that, to be the first one to get perfect swept out of land. Wouldn't expect it to have gone this way at all. With the history between these two teams, you'd expect Renegades to come through. Apparently, I trusted the scripting and the storyline of that a little too much. Dorsas wins another 50 here, tries to get a pinch down. Amphis up now. Again, just suffocating pressure at the point of contact with the ball, just over and over again from Ground Zero.
You know, we've seen a couple of misses in transition for Renegades, whether it's missing a touch, losing a 50, not finding each other. You set up a pass and it goes nowhere. Great save, pinching it off the top bar, just right there, moving from midfield. Renegades just look off base. Something doesn't look right with Renegades right now, and they're going to, unfortunately, get punished for it, as they will get perfect swept. Hold on. Maybe just one for the road. Hey, we'll call it a perfect sweep anyway. We'll call it a perfect sweep anyway.
The points on the board, the record book's going to show it, but they do take the win, but they kind of lose having that ground zero, not playing for the ball. They didn't realize it, but they just gave up having been the team to have perfect sweat.
Our
The first
stats
time
guys
on
in
lane.
shambles right now.
Yeah, Direct right now is like, no, you've taken this from me. He's definitely not happy about it. But 2-1, that's a 3-0 win in the series for ground zero. They sweep out Renegades, and that performance from Renegades has me worried for them going through. And like, we're gonna not count that goal because nobody came to challenge it. He just kind of walked it in.
Hey, a goal is a goal.
A goal's a goal.
But
but if that's the only goal you have for that series, and you're about to go down to 1-2, and you're coming off of this as your game beforehand, I'm a little worried for them in that 1-2 matchup now. That could potentially be the one that eliminates them. Well, I guess potentially it could be the one that eliminates anybody, right? If you're at the 1-2 series, but that one worries me. Them going into that, coming off of a loss like this, that doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't. And the performance in that series was not great, obviously, from Renegades. But the biggest factor was just that they looked like they couldn't get anything going. And that's what worries me. Like, for this team now dropping down 1-2, they're on major points. They're on the chance of getting relegated. So I am worried for this team going forward. I think that they have all that they need to figure it out and turn it around. But it was not a good series from Renegades. They very much got stomped. And Ground Zero just kind of handled their business. They were up 1-0, 2-0. That's all they really needed, and they moved through, and they will move up to 2-1 standing now, which just means that their game differential gets even better. So should head-to-head come into factor, they'll be just fine, because with that, they actually move above Semper. They're 2-1. They're 8-3 overall, +5 in GD, and they're currently in 4th spot, just under BDS. Like,
they
Ground
have to be
Zero
feeling,
are below BDS.
They have to be feeling really solid about this as well. They're coming in off of 2 3-0 sweeps in a row going into round 4. So I mean, it's gonna, obviously this round here is going to probably be a little bit harder of a matchup depending on how things shake out, but it's going to be a very interesting one, and I'm looking forward to seeing who they draw in that next round.
Yeah, it certainly will be. But until we can answer those questions, we, again, have to throw it to a commercial break. When we come back, we continue on with our 1-1 matchups here in round 3 of Swiss. This is the RLCS Fall Major on B-Stream. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.